Hello friends, Sarah Sunstone here, and welcome back to Wish I Knew. In today's episode, I'll be sharing every new item spotted in the new trailer for the Animal Crossing New Horizons update. And in case you missed it, I'll have my previous video linked in the description, which covers all the upcoming features and what you need to know about both the new Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Animal Crossing and also the free update, version 3.0, both of which will be releasing on January 15th of 2026. But otherwise, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start out with the one item we know about that is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, and that is the new megaphone item, which is available at Nook's Cranny in exchange for bells. This item is used to call out to and find your villagers by using the built-in microphone in the Nintendo Switch 2. I've personally spent a lot of time running around my island trying to find specific villagers, so I do think this will be very useful. Now, the rest of the items are part of the 3.0 update, which is free for all players, regardless of whether you're on the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2. However, for certain categories of items with this update, there may be some other requirements to unlock them, and we'll go over those once we get there. So first up, let's go over all the new items that will be available in the Resort Hotel, which will all be obtained through exchanging earned hotel tickets. These tickets can be obtained through completing hotel projects and also by completing crafting requests. And all of the items can be accessed from shopping with Grams at her cute little souvenir shop. And it also does seem like additional items can be unlocked at the souvenir shop as you help out the hotel, but more on that later. So here we have what I'm going to call the hotel collection, and these are very much souvenirs. So we have the hotel mug, which can be seen on display right next to Grams. We also have the hotel pennant, which is a wall-mounted decoration that can be seen here. Next is the hotel wall clock, another wall-mounted decoration, which can be seen in the background here. There's also the hotel towel rack, which we see in the shopping interface, as well as on the wall of this room here in the hotel. And finally, for the souvenir hotel collection, we have the hotel snow globe, which can also be seen very clearly right here, right on display at the souvenir shop. Then we have a series of new hotel clothing items. So this includes the blue hotel tee, the white hotel tee, the blue hotel aloha shirt, the blue hotel cardigan, the orange hotel aloha shirt, and the orange hotel cardigan. Now, I believe that the blue hotel aloha shirt and the orange hotel aloha shirt are the two shirts that are on display on the mannequins here in the hotel. Also, I feel like I've said hotel so many times at this point that it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. Anyway, there's also a couple accessories. So we have the hotel bandana, and also the hotel umbrella, which we can see here. This could be used as a handheld item, but you can also decorate with these, so it can be put on display on the ground as well. By the way, friends, if you're excited for Animal Crossing New Horizons 3.0, please go ahead and shine the lovely like button to let me know, and make sure you subscribe to my channel with your notifications on to stay in the loop. Next up, we're going to move into a series of items that don't seem to be part of any particular set, but these seem to be some really great furniture pieces that will be incredible for designing. So the first one here is the circle cushion, and I believe this item is what we see here in this shot. Now, please do keep in mind that a lot of this is just speculation on my part and, putting two and two together, but this does appear to be a new item, and it is a circular cushion. So for it to be the circle cushion, that would make sense. Do keep in mind that there will also likely be different color variants or customization variants for many of these items. While this won't necessarily be the case for every single one, I think it's pretty safe to assume that most of them will have some different color variants available. Some other confirmed items here that I wasn't able to actually find footage of include the cutlery, the ice pail, and the glass pitcher. Then we have the Bird of Paradise, which is a lovely looking new plant. I absolutely love decorating with plants and greenery, so I'm really excited for this one. And we can see it included in some of the different guest rooms. So there's one here which has a cream-colored pot. We can also see it here in LaBelle's room with a dark gray pot. So this is where the color variants come into play. And then we can also see it in this player's room, again with that cream-colored pot. So really excited for that item. There's also the Pampas grass item, which I believe is this one here. Once again, there could be other variants of this item, but this was the only one I could find in the trailer. There's also a new rolling suitcase item, and this is actually the first new item I spotted when I was watching the trailer. We can actually see it here as an icon in this menu, and it does have the little customization brush, so there will be different variants available. Here is the red rolling suitcase, but further into the designing process here, we'll actually see a navy blue variant of the rolling suitcase being placed. And I also think it's interesting to note that this one has some little stickers on the suitcase, whereas the icon didn't show any stickers, so I do wonder if that's another element of customization, or if the stickers were just not indicated in the icon. A couple more items that I could not find in the trailer but are confirmed here are the wall-mounted bookshelf and the cat plushie. One item I believe I could find is the flower planter, which I believe is what we see over here on this cliffside. I've never seen this item before, and it does look like a flower planter, so this would track. And I would say it's fairly likely that this would be available in different color variations as well. There's also an item called mug shelves, which I was not able to find. And then of course we do have this simple street lamp, which we can see here in the shopping interface, but if you'd like an idea as to how tall it will be, you can get a little glimpse of it in this clip here. So it's a pretty decent height. There's also a colorful lantern arch, which sounds lovely. And then we move into the tubular furniture set. So this set includes a lamp, a magazine rack, a chair, shelves, and a table. And we can actually see all of those items except for the lamp, because I do believe this lamp is part of the Artful set. Though it does also go very well with the tubular set as well, so technically it could be either or. We can see the tubular magazine rack next to the tubular shelves along the wall. We can also see the tubular table alongside two tubular chairs. And I believe right here, we can also see the icon for a different variant of the tubular table. So it does appear that there are at least two color variants of this set, but honestly, I could also see there being like a white version as well, and maybe another one. So next we have the Artful set. This includes a screen, a lamp, a chair, shelves, and a bed. And we can see most of these items. So here we have what I believe to be the lamp. We also have two of the beds with a screen in between them. And then over to the right along the wall, we also have the Artful shelves. We can also see another color variant of the Artful shelves here. It's a bit of a darker wood. So the only item I wasn't able to find from this set was the chair. We also have a kitty furniture set, and the only items confirmed for this that we can see include the partition, the car, and the seesaw. And we can see the car here, of course, in the shopping interface, but we can also see another color variant of it here, again on this cliff top by the flower planter. So to this point, we have a total of 39 items with the 3.0 update, not including any of the color variants. But as you can see here, there's also more space to scroll down, and I have actually spotted a couple of stone items that could likely be up next beneath the kitty set. Again, this is just speculation, but here we see a pretty big stone table on display at the Souvenir Shop. We can also see, I believe, the same table here as an icon form, which does show there are different color variants for it. It could just be the lighting that makes one look darker than the other, or it could be like a gray and a white marble as two different options. There is at least one other variant though, because we do see a dark black marble version of the table here, next to a stone fireplace, which appears to be part of the same collection. So now we have at least 41 items, again with no color variants being taken into account. As I previously mentioned, it seems like some special items will become available at the Souvenir Shop in the hotel as you increase your hotel's reputation. Now these can also be obtained by exchanging earned hotel tickets with grams. So here we have the Ultra Hand, the Ultra Machine, the Love Tester, the Nintendo Switch 2, the Famicom, the NES, the Famicom Disk System, the Game Boy, and the Super Famicom. We can also see most of these on display in this room here, plus the Game Boy, the Super Famicom, and the Super Nintendo. But as you can see here, there are even more systems below, so I'm definitely hoping for a GameCube. A little special feature about these items is that if you do have Nintendo Switch Online, you will actually be able to play one select game on each system, which is pretty cool, but you know, not entirely necessary because you'll still be able to decorate with them, even if you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online. So taking this category into account, we now have another 10 items, minimum. Next up, let's go over all the LEGO collaboration items that have been revealed, and these will be available through Nook Shopping in exchange for bells. We have the LEGO arcade game, the LEGO bed, the LEGO DIY workbench, the LEGO fireplace, the LEGO partition, the LEGO plum blossom, the LEGO sofa, and the LEGO table. Though not listed here, in the LEGO furniture showcases, we can also spot some wallpapers and flooring, and we can also see that there are at least 4 different colorways of all of these items. So we have the classic primary colors set. There's also a set that really features blues and whites. There's another one that really leans into pink and yellow. And then they also teased one that highlights lots of browns, grays, and blacks. There will also be some LEGO clothing items. So in Nook Shopping, we see a LEGO brick tee and a LEGO logo tee listed. We can see the character wearing the LEGO logo tee here. And there's also one other t-shirt here that wasn't listed. It appears to feature a little LEGO person at the center of this heart, like a little LEGO smiley face. And finally, let's look at the Legend of Zelda and Splatoon collaboration items, which will be obtainable through scanning certain amiibo, though we don't yet know the exact details on which amiibos and what they will unlock specifically. So starting with the Legend of Zelda, we have the Zonai Authentication Crest, which is interactable. There are also 4 different colored rupees, which also seem to be interactable when you run through them. And another interactable item is the Triforce. Over to the right, we have the Silent Princess Flower, which honestly could be a game changer for design. It is so beautiful, and I feel like this is going to look incredible, literally everywhere, all over our islands. This is definitely a must-have. Just behind the flower is a heart container, which seems to hover and turn around in place. Then to the left of the heart container is the goddess statue. Next to that is the master sword. And then on the very left is a decayed guardian. Of course, on the wall here, we can see Majora's Mask. And then over on the left-hand side, we have a fairy bottle, which also looks like another standout stellar item that will look just stunning everywhere on the island, especially because it looks like it does light up. Right here is what appears to be an adorable Tri headband. At first, I thought this was a figure or a plushie, but in the Splatoon collection, there's a small Fry headband, and on display, it looks just like this one. So I'm thinking this is actually a Tri headband. And then just beneath that is an ocarina. Now there is actually already a craftable ocarina in the game, but I do believe this one is a different one because it looks different. And then we can see some different clothing items hung up on the wall. So we have a sword and shield. We also have Link's classic look from Twilight Princess, and then a couple of other outfits on the right, which we can actually see on the 2 new Zelda villagers, Tulin and Minoru. The player character here is wearing another Link outfit, which does appear to also include a hairstyle. And very fittingly, they're holding the Tri-Rod, again from Echoes of Wisdom, which acts as a magic wand to swap outfits. And here the player swaps into the Ancient Princess outfit, which of course is none other than Princess Zelda herself. It does appear that this one includes not just the dress, maybe also the shoes, but definitely a hairstyle. I'm curious to know if the crown is part of the hairstyle or if it can be worn separately. You can also see the Korok Forest wallpaper and the Korok Forest flooring here. I'm honestly probably the most excited for this collection because I feel like a lot of these items are going to look so beautiful and magical just sprinkled around our islands. So I can't wait to learn more about how exactly we get these and which amiibos I need to get. And then, of course, we also have the Splatoon collaboration. Now, I've never personally played Splatoon. I do love the art style and the look of it with all the bright colors, but I'm not an expert on all of the different, items and characters, so I'll do my best here to figure out what's what. So in order, we have the Big Man Bench, which is this one here. There's also a crab tank and a golden egg. I'm wondering if the crab tank is this big interactable item. And if the golden egg is what we can see hovering in the background here. Then we have the Splatfest sign, which includes a center panel, a left panel, and a right panel, which I'm guessing would be this item here. Then there's the Splatoon locker, which we can clearly see here, and the splatter shot, which appears to be sat out here on this coffee table. Next up is the squid bumper, which is actually a lot bigger than it looks here. You can see it in the background here behind the bench. And then there's also the squid jukebox, which is just to the right of that bumper. Then we have the super sea snail, which we can of course see here, but we can also see it on that coffee table. And as for wearables, we have the small fry headband. Then there's also the inkling head and the octoling head. We can see the player character wearing the inkling head here. There's also a fry top, a hero suit replica, a shiver top, a squid mark sweat, a Takaroka nylon vintage, and a tri-shred tee. So these are probably the clothes we can see like hung up on the wall. And then of course, speaking of the walls, there is also this new wallpaper and flooring. So there you have it, friends. Those are all the new items coming with Animal Crossing New Horizons 3.0 update that I was able to discover. I counted a total of 115 new items, and that is not including any of the color variants. And we basically know for a fact that there are even more than that, because when we look at the Souvenir Shop and the Nook Shopping, we can see that the scroll bar goes down even further. So let me know which items you're most excited to decorate with, and of course, if you spotted anything else down in the comments. Anything and everything, you know I always love hearing from you. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.